Hello YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors! On this episode of Toys Are the Way, we'll be taking a look at another character from the most recent wave of vintage collection figures for 2025, Han Solo from Star Wars A New Hope. Welcome back everyone and channel members. So here we have yet again another character that's being updated in the vintage collection, and it is Han Solo. This is definitely one that I've been wanting to see updated and will look great next to some of these main characters from the original trilogy and beyond that have been updated in the vintage collection. So definitely one that was long overdue. Han Solo is obviously an extremely important character to have for your shelf displays, and I'm looking forward to finally having a modern, definitive, fully articulated version of this character in my collection room. So great stuff there, especially when, we're getting characters updated like Greedo, so I'll be able to do some toy photography with him. And yeah, just overall very excited to get this one into the collection. But with all that being said and done, don't forget to smash a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, or even become a channel member, and let's take a closer look at the packaging and figure. Taking a look at our vintage style packaging, we have the Star Wars logo and racetrack prominently displayed, followed by Han Solo on an emerald green nameplate color. We have that classic Kenner image of Han Solo looking absolutely badass in Docking Bay 94, with the Kenner logo down below and the Hildebrandt 1 in the top right corner. And then we have this nice all new figure looking absolutely wonderful on a bubble. On the back, he is VC 372 in the line, Han Solo, and we have a small description of the character, followed by the Vintage Collection logo, and additional images of the card and figure. So it's wonderful to finally get a proper update to Han Solo and get him on this nostalgic Kenner callback card, and this is definitely going to make a fine addition to a lot of people's carded collection. Taking a look at Han Solo out of the packaging and focusing on the photoreal and portrait, I think Hasbro has actually done a pretty decent job here capturing this character and bringing them to life. Taking a look at Han from this side angle right here, I think he actually looks a lot like Harrison Ford. I think they've captured that side profile quite well. If you take a look at him from the front, it's starting to grow on me quite a bit. This side is still a little bit funny in my opinion, not as good as the other one. But yeah, overall, they've done a really good job here. Lots of sculpting and texture on the hair right there. I think that all looks fantastic. And overall, this is actually a really nice upgrade in my opinion. Because if we want to bring in the previous Vintage Collection release, which was an update to Endor Han here, now that I'm looking at it, man, it's not quite as good as I kind of remember it being. And that was a nice improvement, to be honest, when we got that figure. But taking a look at it compared to this new version from A New Hope, yeah, they've done a much better job here, so definitely something to be thankful for in my opinion. Moving on to the rest of the figure and the articulation, this Han Solo has everything you want to see on a modern 3.75 Star Wars action figure, especially for a main character. He of course has those wonderful barbell hips, which we now see on all of our new figures. He's got a swivel of the thigh, which is always important to see. He's got a pretty decent bend there at the knee, and then of course rocker ankles. So Han will be able to do some really nice posing on your shelf display. Moving on to the rest of the upper body, he has a nice crunch here right at the waist, which is good. Rotates 360 degrees. The vest is made of a soft plastic, so you can remove that, make customs, do anything of that sort that you choose to do so. He's got a hinge at the shoulder here, which is great. He's got another hinge at the elbow, which is past 90 degrees, it looks like, so around 90 degrees, so that's pretty good. The only thing I will say is I'm not a huge fan of this rolled back sleeve, and I know a lot of people have not been feeling that as well. I think if it maybe rolled up a little bit higher, it would look less awkward, but right here his wrist is just way too thick for sure. I have been seeing some people doing customs, taking the old version from Endor and swapping the arms, so that is an option as well. And then moving on to the rest of the figure's articulation, you do have a hinge at the wrist, which is great to see because he can point the blaster in a certain way, which is nice. And the blaster is actually all new as well, so that's great to finally see an update to that weapon. And then lastly, we have the barbell head, which is pretty decent. It can actually look up, not too bad, look down, side to side, and all that stuff. But yeah, taking a look at the rest of the figure, we do have a soft plastic holster here, which is new. I think that looks really great. You can actually take the blaster and store it in that holster quite well. So let's just get it in their position correctly. There you go. Doesn't really fall out, so his blaster will stay safe. You can see some nice paint applications on the belt buckle there, lots of silver hits, some more on the back, and yeah, overall, Han's looking really good. Got those pinstripes down the side of his pants, and yeah, I think this is actually a really nice update. And if we want to just bring in that previous figure, you can just see that, yeah, This is the update I think a lot of us were hoping to see, and now I kind of want them to redo this Endor Han as well, using parts from this body. So yeah, once again, a really nice update here, and another fantastic addition to our main character lineup for the Star Wars 3.75 line. And lastly, taking a look at Han Solo compared to the other main characters from A New Hope, who also received all new tooling from the ground up, these are absolutely brilliant. These were long overdue in the 375 line, and I've got to say that these are must-haves for any Star Wars collector and shelf display. An original trilogy character like Han Solo should absolutely sport all the modern articulation, sculpting, and attention to detail that we as collectors appreciate and are becoming more and more familiar with in the Vintage Collection and 375 scale. The definitive A New Hope Han Solo was a must for the Vintage Collection, and I think it's safe to say that many fans are relieved to finally have this proper update added to our collection rooms, cantinas, and shelf displays. Han Solo is one of the most important characters in the Star Wars universe, and this latest and greatest Episode 4 release was an essential Finish the 96 action figure for the Vintage Collection. Once again, Hasbro has delivered another 375 masterpiece with this newly tooled scoundrel, who is a very welcome addition to our definitive release lineups and the Make the Mains campaign. Han sports exceptional sculpting and detail throughout, and is armed with the modern barbell hip system, swivels at the thigh, hinges galore, and rocker ankles, and will have absolutely no problems taking on Greedo, Jabba, or the Empire. I've got to say that posing this figure was a breeze, and once again, Hasbro keeps delivering spectacular works of art when it comes to these newly tooled figures. I think it's safe to say that fans are always in favor of premium articulation and sculpting, especially when it comes to definitive main characters like Han Solo. I hope you've enjoyed this video and taking a look at this latest addition to the Vintage Collection 2025 lineup, Han Solo from Star Wars A New Hope. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and may the Force be with you.